Hello and welcome back to Retrotainment Recast. Don't adjust your sets. Don't go back and look for the episode where I lost. It didn't happen. I changed the rules a little bit to get Sick Note back in rotation. So instead of me against Ted, it is now going to be Ted versus the King versus Sick Note Sherlock there to get everyone back in rotation. Now, it was lucky because King picked Sin City and it has a ridiculous amount of people in it. So instead of our normal 7 or a triple threat being 10, maybe we're going to go 17 here. And I get the boys enthusiasm.
Nice way to ease me back in.
Straight in, name on it.
straight in, no lube. Lads, how did you just find this?
Yeah, tough enough.
You know, some were tough, some were. I found like, that just works. As soon as the idea
some
came
worked,
into my
some
head,
went like that for me. Yeah.
I
think some were. As soon as I got the idea in my head, I was just like, "Damn, I can't change my mind on that now. That's locked in."
Yeah, I think some were rough and then some were easy, but like a lot of the time when that happens, it's because you're trying to cast like smaller, lesser known stars into roles. And that's what makes it difficult because you're like, well, I don't want to just use a huge name there because they weren't a huge name. Everyone in this is a huge name, but that just makes it as difficult because you're like, well, how big can I go? Do you know what I mean?
Part or whatever,
yeah. Like
you can go. The budget would seem to have been non-existent on this. This is like playing FIFA with the Ultimate Bio.
this is Sims Rosebud.
Yeah.
But yeah, as it says, this is to get to rotation and to find out who gets a shot at me in the next one. And obviously just to get Sick Note back into the rotation.
There we go.
Lads,
I'm back.
It's gonna be a mammoth episode, so we might as well just get straight in. Right. We've broken it up into obviously the 3 main stories of Sin City. I know there's a Josh Hartnett story, but that's about 8 seconds long, and we're not doing it. So we might as well jump straight into the first story, lads. Right. I went over the rules in the dressing room. I want a nice clean fight. I want no kidney punches, no rabbit punches. I need you to send your photos into the group, and in the words of the great Mills Lane, let's get it on.
Wow.
Mine is sent in there.
Yeah,
just getting the old telephone out there. I cleaned out my WhatsApp photo album, lads. And there's just list after list after list.
Lists everywhere.
Yeah, I know. The amount of pictures I had from when I was putting all the polls up, I was just like, good fuck.
I'm not even going to attempt to look at the screenshot ones and be like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Now, so as we have the 3 of us here, long-time listener Tom sent us in a list as well. He did all 17 as well. Fair play to him.
Fair play to you, Tom. He's loving it. He is.
Our Christmas champ. We'll have to get him back on maybe soon enough to let him see.
Oh,
we gave Rob a midweek or mid-year one last year that he lost.
This is true. We did.
He got whooped.
This is true.
He did get whooped a bit that time.
But to be fair, Paige was a machine.
Well, she did very well.
But right, let's go. We're gonna go straight in. Smallest character in story 1. Now, normally we kind of keep the bad guy and the main to the end, but the 2 mains in this one has to be Hardigan and Nancy. So
yeah.
We're gonna go with Bob in this one.
Cool. Michael Manson.
What a random place for him to show up.
Yeah.
Big name, small role.
Yeah, completely random. And I completely forgot he was in this until I watched it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I did as well, if I'm going to be honest. Who's going first?
So I will let Sick Note go first.
All right. I just when I had this one here, this is one of the last that I put down, but he has the kind of same demeanor as I imagine Michael Manson would. I went with David Harbour.
Okay.
I think he kind of fits it.
I do like David Harbour. I just watched Black Widow today.
He's so good.
He's so good in that.
He pretty much just plays the character he plays in Stranger Things when he's in that Russian prison.
a bit goofier though.
Yes.
Right, King, what you got?
So I had Michael Shannon. I thought he'd be a interesting pick for that.
Favorite on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ted.
I went for someone who has a big name in Hollywood, but probably isn't as big as the lads have gone there. I went with Stephen Graham, who I think he fits in as a nice side character where he doesn't detract from anybody else, but he is memorable because you've seen him in so much other stuff. Like every time you see him, you're like, I know him from something.
Yeah.
I know him.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Snatch, everything. He just doesn't
yeah.
steal the spotlight off anybody. So he's a nice kind of side character there where he can do
Gangs of
anything.
New York.
Yeah, just you could list out so much, and people will be like, "Is he in that?" And then they'll go watch it, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, there he is." There,
He's in loads.
Yeah.
Oh, is
he
he?
is.
I think he might have one of the biggest,
Catalogs.
acting catalogs, and a lot of them are small roles. You know what I mean?
He
Yeah.
seems to have carved out a niche for himself in that kind of smaller role thing, which obviously works for him.
A nice
I
side
take
character.
it.
He's the main in that True Blood show, or not True Blood.
Boardwalk
The
Empire.
cop show. No, there's a cop show that was on BBC.
Oh, Blue Bloods, was it? No.
No, I think that was Tom Side.
Oh,
In the line of duty.
Line of Duty. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where Blue Blood's from.
Or was it the Blue
Um,
Lion? No.
No, it's
No,
Line of Duty.
Right. Okay.
I think he was the main in that. Tom King, you would have got a point off Tom. He had Michael Shannon here.
Okay.
I have Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I can see Pedro.
I had
Okay.
him. I had him as a backup actually.
Do you know what? My backup, I had Nicolas Cage just for the crack. I was like, I just couldn't justify putting him into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nick Cage is a chameleon, though.
He is, but like the Madsen role was more serious. Like that
It
was
was.
his main shtick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was. Yeah.
Excuse me.
You know what? When I heard Michael Shannon, I thought, oh yeah, but I think Ted's gonna nick this one with Stephen Graham because
Yes.
he doesn't do a whole lot. I think David Harbour's far too big to be that part. I know Madsen was big, but he was starting to hit that every fucking
Sure.
phone-in movie.
Who did you
that's
pick?
fair.
Who did you pick?
I had Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I had big Pedro, not the Pedro from
Napoleon
the
Dynamite.
unbearable weight.
Vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro.
The unbearable weight where he's just taking LSD all the time.
That's
But,
fair.
I think Stephen Graham's a good shout there. He can play that kind of just crooked guy quite well.
Yeah.
Good
Good
shout.
shout, Ted. Good shout.
Yeah, fair play. Good one.
Right. We will move on to probably the second smallest in Senator Rourke here,
Howard's Booth.
because
Great name, isn't it?
technically Rourke Jr. done the voice the whole way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go Senator Rourke here.
Perfect.
Who do you wanna
And
go,
I'm gonna
me?
give it to- I'll give it to the Ted lad here. Seeing as he nicked the point the last one.
Right. This one I kind of struggled a bit with. I had as a backup, I had Michael Shannon here, and I think Michael Shannon would have done it quite well.
Yeah.
But again, I went maybe a little bit left field on this one. Someone who can do a bit of a serious acting, but isn't as well known for it. I went with Vince Vaughn, who I think could just be that kind of stately, intimidating presence. Do you know what I mean? Like, because
I'll tell you what, he's really reinvented himself as of late, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and
Big
that's the
time,
thing.
yeah.
Like, he's just very like the sender is very stately in this. Do you know what I mean? Even though he does threaten him, and you believe the threats he comes out with as well. And I think Vince Vaughn just currently is very good at doing that sort of thing. You know, he's a big enough presence that you'd believe he could do something like that.
Yeah.
King.
Fair.
So I had Bryan Cranston as a backup. Now I think he's a bit too old for the role, but I think you could see him doing that. But I went for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I think would be Negan himself.
Fair.
Yeah.
I also had Bryan Cranston as a backup. So we're almost thinking alike there again, King.
Yeah.
But I actually went with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Intriguing.
The old Kingpin.
Kingpin himself.
Yeah,
And
he's just
I was
it's
thinking
the
that.
intimidation that he shows in it, in
Now,
the role.
if you
that I
want to
think would
talk
work
about a
perfectly.
man with fucking range, that
Yeah.
man has range.
Yeah.
He doesn't
D'Onofrio,
need-
yeah.
So Tom had Kieran Hines.
I know that name.
I thought it was a good show.
I thought that. Am I not wrong? Did he just pass recently?
Oh, did he?
I thought I heard that he had. No, he hadn't.
No, he
Apologies.
hasn't. No,
No, I thought he had. I think must be thinking of someone else.
Jeez, 70.
Yeah, he might. That's what I was going to say. He might be just that little bit too old at 70.
It's a great actor though.
Great
Yeah,
actor, but he might just be that little bit too
Yeah.
old here.
I
fair.
will tell you, lads, we have a match here.
I doubt it's going to be Vince Vaughn.
It is not Vince Vaughn. The man's name does have Vince in it, though. I went with D'Onofrio here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a good shout. I didn't even think of him, but
Yeah, I'm
he,
glad.
he is a good shout. No, he is a good shout there.
That's
Yeah,
Bryan Cranston was
I
the
thought it
first
was
person I
nailed
actually
on.
wrote down.
Oh, really?
First person I wrote down was of the entire cast was Bryan Cranston, and it was only earlier on today that I was just like, actually, D'Onofrio.
Yeah, I
He's
had
very
a
good,
few. I kind of had a few that I was batting around there, and I don't think any of them really would have taken it, from D'Onofrio. Vince Vaughn
Yeah.
was the one I was just like, "Oh, he's a little bit left field, and he might win me a point there." But no,
I
D'Onofrio's
I think
solid one.
Vaughn would have beaten Jeffrey Dean Morgan in that one.
Who did Tom have down actually?
Kieran Hines.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Kieran Hines, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Vaughn, it would have went if I had to pick it in order. It would have been D'Onofrio, Vaughn, Dean Morgan. I'm not overly convinced of him. I like his Negan role. He's a good actor in that. He done
Yeah.
very well in that. I just couldn't see him playing a senator.
Yeah, no, D'Onofrio's definitely the best shout there by a long shot as well.
There was me thinking I was nailed on for that one.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. The second you said it, I was like, oh, Kingpin himself. Yeah, he fits in here.
He's got it. Right, lads. Let's go. Rourke Jr. The yellow
dirty
bastard.
yellow bastard.
Horrible fuck.
Nick
I mean,
Stahl.
This is such a random role, and this could be anybody.
I'd
But at the start, it has to be a certain fit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm happy with my pick. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm happy enough with mine, but I don't know. It could go either way
Well,
here.
the
I'll go
king.
to,
will
I'll
have
go
first
to
pick.
win that for me. So, I went with Pete Davidson.
Okay.
I went mild.
I went with someone here who actually wouldn't mind even putting on all the prosthetics and all that shit. I went with Paul Dano,
Intriguing.
and like you can picture him doing that horrible grunting voice and saying,
Kind of like he does in the Batman.
Yeah, I thought along similar lines. Someone who wouldn't really mind being in the makeup and prosthetics and things like that. But I kind of used it as I don't know. Was it just voice acted after he became the big yellow bastard, or is it a prosthetic?
No, it's a suit.
It's just a suit, isn't it?
So some of it's a suit.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted someone who's still, a bit physically intimidating because he's meant to knock Hartigan out with one shot in the prison. You know what I mean? So I just went with someone who's a kind of not huge, but you could believe he could do it. I went with Bill Skarsgård, who can be creepy as well. Like this character is. They don't really delve into it too much, but he is creepy as fuck. Like
he is creepy.
He's on the
nonce.
bold list for doing whatever he does.
The bloody nonce, like.
Yeah. Right. Well, me and Tom had a match on this one. We actually have a couple of matches along the way. This one was one. We both had Jamie Campbell Bower here, who played Vecna in Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's a good show.
It is a good shout, actually. Yeah.
Let's see.
I just think with Paul Dano's star on the rise, this would be just another feather in his cap.
I mean, it stars on the rise, but Bill Skarsgård's topping out at the top at the minute.
Yeah.
True.
It's a different kind of movie. But Pete Davidson stars rising in the Hollywood world as well.
It
This
is,
very
yeah.
true.
He started doing a new one with David Howard Thornton and stuff as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. He's
I'm not
very
sure
good
what
in
it is.
he's very good in bodies as well. Like
Was
he's
he in that? Was he? I actually have to watch that. You keep telling me there's people in that, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, he was very good in it. Like it's a very similar role for him to a lot of other stuff he's done, but he's definitely starting to show his acting chops now.
no, he's not gonna make it into this list. I think I'm gonna have to go with Dano here.
Why'd you do that?
Oh, okay.
Thought I had thoughts.
Why would I do that? Because
Thoughts,
if
guys,
you've actually seen him when he was in Girl Next Door, and that was years ago, but he was playing like the horny teenage friend and stuff. You could just see him doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like there was 3 good choices there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I think if it had been a bit more comedy in the role, I would have probably went Davidson.
Yeah.
But he doesn't kind of do anything funny in this at all. I know it's not supposed to be, but
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. So we're 2-1-0 after 3. Everything to play for.
Yep.
Oh yeah, with this many left to go now.
What? We've got 14 to go. That's about
14
it.
to go. There's nothing sorted yet.
Yeah, I can piss away this loss. or this
Can't
lead.
wait for Sherlock to lose
14 in a row.
15-2. 15-2 here now. Watch, because Ted and King will match on a few.
Hopefully.
Right. It's got to be Nancy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Jessica Alba in her
I'm
prime.
imagining there's got to be a match along here somewhere. There has to be.
I'd say so here.
Right, Sherlock, go for it.
I went with Anna de Armas.
Okie dokie. King?
I think.
Go on, Sherlock. What were you gonna say?
No, go on. Go ahead.
All right, cool. I had. I know I'm not gonna win this one, but I just thought that she looked similar to Alba in a sense. I went with Ariana Grande. So.
Oh, Greg is not gonna like that.
That has backfired on me before.
Greg is not gonna like that one. Yeah, I went. Obviously, the character's meant to be quite young, only just getting into their 20s. You know what I mean? So I went young, went someone whose star is rising, but is already huge. I went Jenna Ortega.
You're gonna go 2-2 here.
Playing to the George, what?
I think these are mad not to have gone Jenna Ortega.
That's why I fully expected all 3 of you to have it. I mean, her story is pretty much.
That, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the first name that I put down for Nancy. It's the only name I put down for her.
I put down 2 others just to try and challenge myself if I could think of someone better. And the other 2 I put down, one was Zendaya, who I think could do it as well, but she's just that little bit.
She did pop into my head.
She's just that
She's
little
never
bit
out of your head.
This is.
You don't want to finish that. You do not want to finish that sentence.
But yeah, like Jenna Ortega just is. That's the role for her, isn't it? Like,
I mean, it's her role in X really that seals the deal for that, where she's kind of shy, timid, and then she comes into herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ortega was the only name for me and Tom.
Yeah, I thought that. I genuinely thought that was going to be across the board. Ortega.
That's what I said. I fully expected that to be the one. And when he went to Armis, I was like, okay, so he's going to lose a point here. King.
Wasn't even in the mix, was he?
No.
No.
No. No. I hate. Well, I don't hate her, but
Duly noted.
she's not a good actress
I
at all.
I do disagree. I think she actually is a decent actress.
Yeah.
But
You should
not
disagree.
for this role.
Nor Anaconda.
No, well, not for Anaconda either. But
Right,
All
2-2-0.
right.
King, let's pick one of this story up. Ready?
Hartigan.
Let's go. Hartigan.
Oh, Brucey
Okay.
boy.
So I had two backups. I had Daniel Craig and I had John
Okay.
Bernthal. But I went
Okay.
with Ben Affleck, which he was the same age as Bruce Willis at the time. Not that makes any difference, but I do think he could play that part really well.
All right. Well, I do like Affleck.
He is an Affleck man.
I do like Affleck myself.
oh yeah.
Affleck was the
Uh,
bomb
go
in
ahead,
Phantoms.
So I had
I like that.
I had I had
Ben Affleck's the bomb of Phantoms, yo.
I had one backup, which is it's a lazy choice, which is why it's my backup in Jason Statham. I feel it's a very lazy
no.
choice.
Yeah.
No.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like he's basically taken over as what Bruce Willis was doing. It's a very lazy choice, which is why I didn't really like it. But I was like, I'll put it down just at the start, just in case I can't think of anyone else. But the person I did go with, and I'm glad that he wasn't selected earlier because someone did mention it. I went with David Harbour here. The whole looking out for a young child and willing to sacrifice his whole life for the child is basically him in Stranger Things, and then in the recent film where he was Santa Claus, basically.
Silent Night or
Yeah,
Violent
like-
Night.
Violent Night. It's basically the same story, like he will do anything to protect this younger person.
Okay.
So I love this movie, and this story is, I love this story in it. And once this name came into my head, I actually couldn't get it out of my head. I just think it suits it really fucking well. I went with Viggo Mortensen.
You're not getting a point.
I think
He's
he
about
would do
400 years of age, too old.
it. Bruce, if I'm not lying, Bruce Willis is retiring in this, is it not? He's close.
No,
to
he's not
retirement.
retired. He has to stop because his heart.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure that's retiring.
Technically.
That's a forced retirement. Edge retired at 37 or something, didn't he?
I thought Viggo was a great choice there.
I don't. I do like Viggo Mortensen, but I really don't. And I mean, like, fair play to him. He's got himself back in supreme shape, but not for this role. Tom had Tom Hardy here.
No.
A little young, probably.
I was like, I didn't like that.
A little
no.
too shit.
Whoa! No, I like
This man. This man is calling Tom Hardy shite, and he picked Ariana Grande for the lead role of a movie. Up out of that, son. Back on the sick bed.
I like Tom Hardy. I think his last two. Well, I don't know if they're his last two films, but basically the two Venom films were shit.
Awful.
But
he has a lot of good movies on that list.
He has more good films on his list than he has shit.
His performance in Legend was phenomenal.
Legend, Warrior,
Bronson.
I thought he was
Bronson was
Bronson.
brilliant.
I thought he was brilliant in The Dark Knight as Bane. To be honest,
He was awful.
I know some people didn't like it. I thought he was a really good Bane.
I thought he was terrible.
What the fuck is that one they done with Shia LaBeouf where he plays the Moonshine Brothers? Lawless.
Yeah.
Good one, yeah.
He has a massive list there, and I think he's solid in pretty much all of them. Like most of his films, anyway.
And he's good in Peaky Blinders as well.
Was he in that? Was he?
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
I had Josh Brolin here, lads. I don't know how you didn't pick this one.
Little spoiler, I have Josh Brolin elsewhere. That's why.
Yeah, me too.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you now. Well then, Carl, if they have them where I think they have them, you're gonna be taking a point straight out of there because he does not fit the role that they've put him in. If it's the one I think it is.
See,
Um,
I was keeping away from anyone who's appeared in any of the two Sin City movies, and Josh Brolin's in the second one.
Hmm.
never seen
You
the
know,
second
so
one. But
yeah,
the second one
he is.
doesn't actually exist yet.
It doesn't, but he played Dwight in the second one,
The
so I was
second
kind of just,
How
I
the fuck
was
did he play Dwight?
because they
Dwight's a couple
couldn't
of
get
years
your man
on.
they couldn't get your
No.
man back.
Clive
because
Oh
Owen.
no, yeah,
the
they couldn't get Clive Owen back. That's fine, but like he looks
But they got
nothing
Josh
like
Brolin,
him.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I went with Brolin here as the main. I think he'd fit into that role perfectly.
Who did Tom? Tom went Brolin as well.
Tom
did he?
Hardy. No,
Oh.
Tom had Tom Hardy.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Tom Hardy. Yeah.
I think it's going to be 2-2-1 here. I think I'm going to go Ben Affleck.
Hey.
I really
that's
liked
fair.
David Harbour. I really like David Harbour there. I like Ben Affleck as well, though.
Yeah, I think Affleck's probably the best choice there.
Well, no, Brolin's the best choice. Let's be fair.
Well, no, you've just said Affleck, so yes. But hey,
Well, I
Oh.
picked Brolin, so I can't give myself the point.
you wouldn't
For
have got one.
fuck's sake, Carl.
Oh, I'm tired. Leave me alone.
Yeah, right. On to story 2, lads. Story 2.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the story because the Yellow Bastard's the only one that sticks with me. This one was the really dark one of the
Yeah.
the 4 stories, but I'm only gonna call it a trilogy because obviously the other one's only about 8
Yeah.
seconds long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really like this story. Like it's dark, it's violent, it's Mickey Rourke right up there.
This is
Yeah.
this is one of his best roles by far.
I mean, a lot of this is obviously CGI'd and stuff as well. But like his performance as Marvin, this was brilliant.
Mhm.
Was.
Right. Shall we get into this one then?
Let's get it on.
Right. Story 2. We're gonna start with Kevin here.
Old
He's-
Elijah Wood.
He is the smallest of the roles in this.
I
Yeah.
would have said the Cardinals probably smaller, but yeah.
So would I.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, it
Well,
doesn't
well,
matter. They're
check-
both. I think they're both equally small, so it's not really going to matter.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
doesn't matter.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, you know what? Well, fuck it. We'll stick with Kevin. Let's go, Kevin. Ted.
I just had one name down here. I just wanted someone kind of slight. And he didn't. By the time Sin City came out, I don't think he was really a huge name here.
He done Lord of the Rings.
Had he done?
Yeah,
Lord of the
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That was the.
Was
Was
it
only-
1 and 2 had come out, hadn't it?
Had they both?
Think
Yeah,
so,
they,
yeah.
we were waiting on 3 to come out. I think, or 3 had
Oh.
just dropped.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
then
He was
then
huge,
then
Because
he
it was
a
such
big
a
enough name.
random role for him.
Yeah,
Which is why I love it so much, that role
Yeah.
that he plays.
I kind of figured he kind of took this before he hit big with Lord of the Rings, so my one might not work here. But I just went with someone who's kind of small and slight to take it, so I went with Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things.
Okay.
He's just kind of a small, kind of creepy character, and I just feel he kind of fits in there a bit.
It's fair.
Okay.
I can see where you're coming from with that one.
Yeah,
Sherlock.
I had a backup here. My backup was Tom Holland.
He was
I
my
thought-
backup as well.
Yeah. But who I went with, someone who does take these weird ass roles and likes to do the weird roles, but I can contort himself into weird ways like Kevin did. I kind of went with Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
I know you're not the biggest fan of the Harry Potters and stuff, but I think,
He is a good
Radcliffe.
actor, though, to be fair.
yeah, I think just picture him in black and white the way Kevin was. I think it works very well.
Okay. King, what you got?
I'm regretting who I picked now because you called him someone earlier on, Paul Dano.
He was
So-
he was another name that I had batted around for this one,
Yeah.
but I thought it's
But
just a bit
my-
different for him.
I had 2 backups in Tom Holland and Daniel Radcliffe.
And
And I had Radcliffe up until I thought Dano. I was like, yeah, maybe. So is what it is. I do think
Okay.
Radcliffe would be perfect in that role.
Carl, do you think you fell into that trap of Radcliffe and Elijah Wood being the same person? Have you not heard that? That they both always get asked to sign
They
each
do,
other's
yes,
stuff
they do,
because
yeah.
everyone seems to
I-
confuse them. Did you fall into that, Carl?
No, I actually didn't even think of that.
The second
They
you
are
said
similar. They're too similar. They're
the
very, very
second you
similar.
said Radcliffe, I was like, he's just after falling into the trap that they're the same person,
Yeah.
isn't he?
I didn't even think of that, but it works.
Right. So Tom has Barry Keoghan here for Kevin. I was
Okay.
like, okay, I could see that.
Yeah, and
You don't see much of it.
he'd probably be better served in a bigger role.
Well, I mean, Elijah Wood was one of the biggest stars in the world, and he took this role,
It's
so you
true.
can't say that.
It's true.
I had Finn Wolfhard here.
Yeah.
I went small, skinny, slight.
Yeah,
And
I think of the Stranger Things cast, he'd probably be the best choice for that.
funny
role.
enough, actually, the first choice I had for it was Noah Schrapp.
I
I
was
was like-
thinking them, but then I thought maybe they're still just a little bit too young. Like Kevin's kind of meant to be that
He
little
was
bit like he's
23. He was 23 doing it.
yeah, and that's what I was kind of thinking. The character's meant to be that little bit older. He's still meant to have, he's meant to be that little bit.
Wolfhard's 20.
Yeah,
Was Elijah Wood only that young? Really?
Yeah.
Elijah Wood was like 24 or something. Yeah. I just went. I went Charlie Heaton again. I went kind of Stranger Things. I just went for someone that's a little bit kind of creepy and can play that. I can play that role, and again, quite slight. So doesn't look physically intimidating.
Yeah. Do you know what? There was something I seen not so long ago that's actually going to get me to my pick. I rewatched Horns a couple of weeks ago
Very good film.
with Radcliffe, and I think
Yeah.
he would actually fit that role quite well in the dark.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
He plays the dark role really well. Actually, I want to actually rewatch Woman in Black now soon.
I've never seen that, I believe it or not.
That's probably his best acting role
Really?
overall.
Okay.
Now I say that, but I don't include the Harry Potter movies because I don't like them.
They're not acted very well anyway.
But they're still good films.
Well, there is that too. But that, I think overall that's his best acting role. So it's 3, 2, 1.
When
Go.
I say go, select.
So we'll jump on to Cardinal Rourke here.
Rutger Hauer.
Right.
One of his last roles as well, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Well, he was 61 or something.
Was it
at
his
that
last
stage.
role?
I think it
Might
was.
have been.
Right. We're gonna start with Sick Note. This might be his last episode for a while if he doesn't win.
Pull another
See,
sickie.
when I was batting things around, I was just like, I've just threw names down. I did have Vincent D'Onofrio as a backup on this
Okay.
originally, but I went for it down to kind of creepy route for Cardinal Rourke because he comes off as creepy in a different way, and I went with
Go on.
Quentin Tarantino.
Ooh.
QT himself.
Yeah, I think that works.
You know what? I'm actually surprised he's not in this movie.
True. He only directs a scene.
Literally, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it's a great scene.
Probably the best shot scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
King, what you got?
So, two backups I had were Hugo Weaving and Tim Roth. And yeah,
That could have been a shout and a half.
yeah. But I went with James Spader because I think he can do fucking anything.
Spader's great.
Robert California himself.
Yeah.
Well, I do love Robert California.
Okay. He was Ultron as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was.
But
And you know what? When I first seen that, I couldn't picture that he was Ultron. And now every time I see Age of Ultron, I'm like,
There's
that's
Robert.
California.
there's Robert California.
And just the way he
His greatest
talks,
role.
like,
It's his
I
greatest
really
role.
didn't like his role in The Office.
No, but
I
it's
love Robert California.
everyone remembers him as Robert California.
Honestly, that's not the first thing that comes to my head with him at all.
First thing that comes to someone says that, I'm like, oh yeah, Robert California, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
please tell me to pick Robert California here.
I didn't.
Damn.
I had two backups here. This is where I had Bryan Cranston as a backup, and it's who I had here originally. Just that
Okay.
little bit older.
This one he could get away with because you can't really retire from being a cardinal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another backup I had was Ralph Fiennes, who I think could do it quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Everyone just agrees on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have stuck with him, but I went a little bit, maybe a little bit left field here. This character is kind of like manipulated Kevin. Do you know what I mean? And is quite good at being like, they kind of reference how powerful he is in the community and stuff. You know, he's built
And
his
he's a
way up,
cannibal.
and yeah, but that's, you know, he's built his way up in the community where everyone kind of fears him anyway. So he's obviously meant to be quite an intelligent character. So I actually went Peter Dinklage here, who I think could play that quite well. You know, he can be very manipulative when he needs to be, which is what this character is. He's not physically threatening or imposing in any way. It's his brain that gets him around everything else. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
So-
know. I think Rutger Hauer in this is quite chilling, you know.
Yeah.
And I honestly think James Spader has that range that he could do anything like that. You know?
Chilling, but not
I'm not-
intimidating.
I'm not
They're
gonna
two
lie
different
to you.
things.
I think that Dinklage pick is probably the worst of the lot that I've heard so far.
No, see, I think he could do that quite well because I think this isn't a role that you need to be big for, because you have to keep in mind that, like, because he's a cardinal, he's, you know, kind of untouchable here.
He's part of the Rourke family though, so like I'm not saying
Well, no.
like that.
Because in the story they actually say that he gets
Yeah, he's
his
the
brother,
one,
the senator.
yeah, he's the one who manipulates everything, which is what's Peter Dinklage good at when he plays that kind of role. He's good at manipulating things from the back, playing the chess game from the background.
Didn't
And
do it
that's
in
why I
Elf.
think-
Ugh.
Well, but that's a different role. He's like
Give that man some bonus points now.
no, you can't say that Peter Dinklage isn't good at playing the role of being like a background manipulator. That's like he played that through all of Game of Thrones.
I'm sure Sherlock can because he hasn't seen Game of Thrones, and most of Peter Dinklage's stuff he doesn't do that in.
Even the X-Men kind of first class thing, he's kind of manipulating things from the back as well.
Three
what I mean?
billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. He's just a little small.
Yeah. On a
That
little
was a great
footstool.
movie.
It was a very good movie.
No, very good film,
Um,
but like he is good at doing that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what
Oh
I was
yeah,
thinking.
I know where you're going with it.
And that's what I'm thinking here. I'm like, there's nothing to say anything about this guy other than that he's good at playing the background strings, and then he's good at he's taken someone younger than him and manipulating them to
the
do
only
what
thing
he
I would
does.
say is like the Works, they were a bit embarrassed of the way Works Jr. turned out because he was this dirty yellow bastard. They saw themselves in high esteem,
Yeah.
and in this time period, being a little person wouldn't have you in high esteem.
Same way it did in Game of Thrones.
And he's still, yeah, but he's even still, he manipulates everything from the background. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Tom for Cardinal Rourke had Danny Houston. Jeez, he's fond of the old Danny Houston lads, isn't he?
He has used them a few times, yeah.
And that's a good shout actually though. I really, really liked my pick here. I went with Matthew Modine here, who was Eleven's dad in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But he was the dad in New Wrong Turn and about every other horror movie that came out in the last number of years.
That's right, yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's not a huge name, but has a big name.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to go with Tarantino. It's like he's in an acting realm, of course, he's not in it, but for this
Not a whole
type of
lot of acting
movie,
in
just to have like the name value of a Tarantino, even if it's not in directing, it's, you know, have him attached to Sin City is what you want.
Again.
Yes.
Well, it's gonna get a little bit closer here, lads. It's gonna be 3-2-2 here.
Yes.
King's gonna
I
take this
can't
one.
argue against Vader.
It's probably your best pick ever.
So far, yeah.
It's a good one though.
Yeah.
Right, 3-2-2. Right. So we will go with Lucille now.
Okay.
And we'll get the head lad to start.
Carly
I just-
Gugino.
I just kind of had one name here, someone who kind of takes these kind of smaller roles, but still a big name. I went with Lucy Hale here. I think she'd fit into that role quite well.
Okay. Fond of the old Lucy Hale, aren't you?
Yeah, I think she fits into a lot of roles where she just kind of she's to the side a bit. You know what I mean? Like,
She's a good actress now, to be fair to her.
yeah,
Right, King, what do you got?
Just the one name I had, Dakota Johnson.
50 Shades of Grey, is it?
Yeah, that's her.
no idea who she is.
I haven't seen them, so I don't know, but I just know she's in it.
No,
Yeah.
that's to say I wouldn't have known that
I-
until you said it, and I don't know. I still don't know who she is.
So basically, this role is a confident cop, basically, who gets broken
She's a
down.
solicitor.
Or
Solicitor.
solicitor, sorry, a confident woman, I should say, gets broken down and who
In
can
more ways than
scream
one.
and can
Yeah.
scream very well. You know, he made me watch is it's of all the scenes in this movie is one that sticks with me the most. So I chose someone who could definitely play all those parts and has a really good scream for that type of role. I went with Zoe Saldana.
I actually thought you were gonna go Margot Robbie, and I was like, you're gonna snooker yourself here because
No.
she gets her Babylon Zoo.
No, Zoe Saldana. She has a great scream, like in anger and pain. So I think she'd do that very well.
Right. Okay. Tom had Brie Larson here,
Yeah,
which I'd actually have probably taken over any of those three picks, to be honest.
Sorry,
I think-
my headset went there. What was that?
Brie Larson.
Tom had Brie
Larson.
Larson.
Ugh. She doesn't. She doesn't have an ounce of fucking anything about her.
Which on that?
There's
Sick
no
Note.
charisma there
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I agree.
I went with an actress who was in this before. I went with Jessica Alba here.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not the worst
she could go
show
in.
ever.
She's not afraid to get her kid off. And she's probably about the right age to be a solicitor because she's meant to be Hardigan's solicitor from when he goes in and he spends 18 years in
Yeah.
prison, which means I'd imagine that Lucy Hale is too young.
Well, Lucy Hale is a year younger than the original actress when she
Yeah, she's
played
tr-
the role.
Yeah, but she does not. Carla Gugino's a lot older looking. Like, it's another bad casting.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think she'd fit in, like a bit of makeup, and she'll look that bit older, you know.
Saldana's 44, so that'd be a grand age for her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think, you know, a small bit of makeup on someone's going to make them look that bit older, you know. And I don't think she looked that old in the film either, to be honest. Greg, your mic's
I
gone.
can't hear you, Greg. There.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are indeed.
Sorry. I think it was another bad casting, really.
Yeah, it's in black and white, so you know you can kind of
Yeah.
that can make someone look that bit older a lot easier. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what
Yeah.
I was thinking along the lines of like,
Well, yeah, it's a fair point. And then again, all you have to do is leave that out of the story that she was a solicitor at the start, essentially.
yeah, well, I mean, like a bit of makeup could
Mm.
push Lucy Hale from being 33 to being 40. Do you know what I mean? That's all it takes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't seen anything with Dakota Johnson in it. Not a thing.
That's fair.
Not a thing. I know she's in 50 Shades of Grey,
Mm.
but I haven't seen them. Do you know what? I'm probably going to give it to Lucy Hale. Surely because I have Zoe Saldana elsewhere.
Yeah, but you said before if the role fits right.
Yeah, but I don't think it fits right for her.
Uh,
Like, I mean, I'm closer to picking Dakota Johnson than I am to
Saldana.
Saldana.
that's
Also, just to
Um,
note, Brie Larson is the same age as Lucy Hale as well. And you thought
Is
that
she?
was, yeah, they're both 33, yeah.
Again, she
she's
looks
a-
about
she's a-
50.
she's a charisma void though.
Kind of like J-Law.
Well, she's better than fucking.
She's the first female action star, lads. Just
Yeah,
remember
Well,
that.
that's true.
first
Oh,
ever,
yeah.
That's true.
first ever female action
Every
star.
time that woman's name comes up in any podcast I'm ever on, that's coming out. Simple as
First
that.
First ever female action star.
So
That's
3-3-2, lads.
Yeah, close
Uh,
one.
It's a
Not
close
bad.
one.
Not
It's a
bad.
close one.
So we're gonna go Goldie here.
Yeah,
Jamie
Uh,
King.
Yeah,
I was very happy with my pick here. Not gonna lie.
I'm quite happy with mine. Ted, you happy with yours?
not really. No, this is the one I probably struggled the most with.
King?
Who have I got? Yeah, I think so, but I don't think it'll win though. But I still think I'm happy with it. So
Right. Well then, we'll start you off then, King.
I went with Lily James. So
Okay. Pam
Okay.
Anderson.
now you have it.
Alrighty. Ted?
So the first person I thought when I seen this, because she looks kind of like her, was Jamie Presley. But obviously that's because I'm watching My Name Is Earl, and Jamie
Are
Presley.
you not finished that yet?
No, well I am, but you know I watched it recently. But
They
she's
look
obviously
so
she's-
similar.
yeah, but she's significantly younger in My Name Is Earl to
Yeah.
what she is now, and she
20
just-
years.
Yeah, like she's not going to fit there now because I think she's probably the same age as the original actress at this
Yeah.
point. So doesn't work. But I thought it was her when I started watching it. I was like, that's Jamie Presley, and then I was like, oh,
First time I seen it, I thought the same thing.
yeah, and
Ditto.
then it wasn't, and I was like, oh shit. So I couldn't really think of anyone here. I kind of a relatively small role, so just went with an upcoming actress here, who does have a bit of name, partially due to her parents in Maya Hawke. I'm not really sold on it, but I struggled with this one a bit now, I have to say.
I went with someone I think has a lot. It is coming up. Has a lot of potential, and I think would suit us really well. Has a similar look to Goldie as well. I had Samara Weaving.
Don't forget, Lily's not afraid to get the baps out.
I don't think she fits this role.
She can fit any role she
Of course
wants.
she could. Exactly.
I mean, her and Sebastian Stan played a better Pam and Tommy than Pam and Tommy did.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I might
Um,
have got caught with trying to keep them this character relatively close to the age of the original actress, which was 26. I think I
She just
probably
has to
got,
be a hooker.
yeah,
Yeah.
but she was young. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where I kind of got stuck. I was like, I want to try and keep them younger because that's what the film had them as. But
Yeah. So Tom sent me the list and he has Rosie Depp on it. Now I imagine that's meant to be Lily Rose
Rose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depp. Because when I googled Rose Depp, that's what popped up. So I imagine that's what it's supposed to
Yeah.
be.
I
Tom,
said
you
so.
can correct that. You can correct us in the comments underneath when this episode drops if
I think
that
that's
is not the
correct, yeah.
case. I went with a girl who has a name. It's kind of up and down whenever she decides she wants to work.
Like Goldie.
Yeah, she's up and down. She's up and down worse than Goldie is. Well, let's be fair. Goldie's not getting back up, and she's also not afraid to get a kid off. We've seen
Yeah.
that in True Detective. I went with Alexandra Daddario here,
Right.
Fair.
the bluest of blue eyes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that was my pick. I was quite happy with that one.
Yeah.
One of yous had a backup of mine though, and it was Samara Weaving.
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed now
Yeah.
because when Sherlock said it, I was like, yeah, she does
It
have
fits.
that look. I was like, she does have that look. And I think if I hadn't trapped myself with trying to keep them under 30, I probably would have thought of her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing that probably could be argued is I don't know if she'll do a nudity scene. Don't think
Yeah.
I've seen her do one. And there's 2 in this that she does. Do you know that kind of way? I can't
True,
say she's
but I
never
mean,
publicly
it-
come out and stated like Margot Robbie did.
I don't think she's come out and said that.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. She hasn't come out and said it,
Yeah.
so I can just take it that if someone pays her enough money to get her Babylons out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Possibly, yeah. It's hard to tell. Like, you know, depends on
But-
what the role is as well, I suppose. You know, if they feel it's worthwhile to take a role like that, then they might. Then they might
well,
not.
she did get stabbed in the old Tig old biddy there in Scream 6, didn't she?
Mhm.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
It's the opening scene, Larry.
I go on sick, you go on.
I'm sick for this long and he still hasn't seen it.
Sherlock's not a horror guy, though, to be fair.
I
to
know,
him.
I know.
I've seen
Cunt
all the
doesn't
streams though by this one.
Cunt doesn't even watch our show, Carl.
Oh my goodness.
Graceful.
He's never coming on the show then.
Look at him. He doesn't even deny it, the cunt.
Not even looking at the screen,
0
look.
more points. Guess who's getting 0 more?
I was just checking. Samara Weaving has only done a nude scene last year.
Intriguing. Would you care to enlighten the movie?
The Valet.
Lovely.
Intriguing. Valet.
we know what Greg's watching tonight.
Yeah,
Well,
the Pope's
well.
Exorcist.
30 seconds of it anyway.
Now, if I was going with that, lads, it'd be straight back to Pam and Tommy, to be honest.
Fair.
But
I
Sam,
really need to-
Weaving.
I really need to watch Pam and Tommy. You and King use
Same.
the actors from that so often that I'm like, well, I haven't seen it. So
They're brilliant in that.
Seth Rogen's fantastic in
He's
it.
brilliant in it, yeah.
He's a great actor. He is a
Oh,
great
yeah.
actor.
Right, lads, it's 4-3-2.
Oh, who did you go with there?
I went with
Mara.
Sam Weaving.
Samara
Oh,
Weaving.
right, sorry, yeah.
Tina, if you've actually just gone through Carl's phone and checked his last Google search, we didn't ask him to do that. He did it himself. He wanted to see.
I have evidence here that I was doing it for research purposes.
Wait, no, lads, there's 3 of us here other than Sherlock. Did any of us ask him to check that?
Nope. He just went looking that up. Dirty bastard.
Yeah.
And when you go to show this video evidence, that whole conversation won't have happened. Isn't that right, Ted?
Yeah, it'll just be you saying she has done nude scenes.
Right, lads. Let's go.
I can tell you the seconds that it's on. The minute and seconds.
I have it
We're
here
in.
on my phone.
Editing gold here, Ted.
Right. Marv is the main man here. Mickey-
Bruce. No, not
Mickey
Bruce.
Rourke.
Sorry, Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
I
Yeah.
wrote it down wrong on my
Mickey
list.
Rourke before all the plastic surgery went wrong.
Jesus.
Now he
There
looks
was
like
still
Marv without
some
it.
plastic surgery.
Right,
Yeah.
lads. Who started that last one? Lily James. So I'm gonna give this one to Ted to start.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I had 2 backups here. One was Carl Urban, which I didn't really think fit here all that well.
Yeah.
The other was Rory McCann, who I think does kind
Oh.
of fit here a little bit. He's a big, intimidating unit. But this is the one where I said I'd use someone else from earlier. This is where I used Josh Brolin.
Yep.
Big,
Okay.
big unit. Believable that he'd be able to beat the shit out of that many cops while he's running away, but can also play the kind of sensitive soul when he needs to.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had Bernenthal there as another backup, possibly. The other one that I had as a backup is too old, so that was Ron Perlman.
Right, far too old.
Yeah,
Too
but
old now.
I just would have loved to see him
Sorry,
play
too.
that role.
Shit.
Shut up, you. What you want? Don't talk about Hellboy like that, right? But like Ted,
Harbour was Hellboy as well.
don't even talk about that.
Yeah, Neil asked about to mention that.
I went with exactly. I went with Josh Brolin like Ted. I think he's the. I
Oh,
think
wow.
he's really good for that role.
I figured that's where
Right.
you'd have him as well. I'm guessing that's where Greg thought we'd have him as well.
I think
Yep.
we're right. Be
Sherlock,
intriguing now.
Wait and you see, I will fuck this up completely. I had a backup here. My backup was John Hamm. I wasn't
Okay.
too keen on it.
Good show.
But I went with someone again. Honestly, when I saw this, I was just like, I started looking up, and the genuine Google search I put in was ugly
Big
actors.
sweaty men.
Was ugly actors is what I put in, and this came up, and I was just like, that fucking works. I went to Javier Bardem.
You fucked it up.
Oh,
All you had to do was give me someone that thing. Javier Bardem, no. If you had picked him as one of the Rourkes, maybe. Javier Bardem is not going in here and ripping people
He
apart like that. Not a fucking
Works
hope.
at that.
Not a hope. Not a hope.
he works more like as he like as in No Country for Old Men and
He's a
Yes.
fucking fantastic.
Slow
He's one of
Silence.
this generation's best bad guys,
Mm.
but he's not Marv. Sorry,
he's
but he's not.
Unless he's coming in as that fucking crocodile from Lyle Crocodile, he ain't ripping anybody apart.
Right, so it's 4-4-3.
Dick.
Who did you yourself and Tom have?
He bollocks it up.
I knew I would. It's just my luck.
Who
I
did
should have
you
stuck
and
with John Hamm. I
did
should
you
have
and Tom have
stuck
there?
with John Hamm.
So Tom had David Harbour,
Yeah.
and I had Barenthal.
That-
Barenthal was the pick.
Yeah.
Let's
I-
be honest. It's just the Punisher he's playing.
Bernthal is a good pick, but I don't know how you don't think Josh, like you said earlier when we said we had Josh Brolin somewhere else, and you were like, no, definitely not. I don't know how you don't see Josh or how you don't see Brolin in that role as well. Like, I think he fits that role very well as well.
Absolutely.
If you look at any of the work that Brolin's really done, right? Okay, Thanos, he played a fucking CGI superhero, right? Same with Cable. But anything other than that, he doesn't play characters like that.
Big
But you
mean
could-
At all.
bastard.
No, but like he's more along the lines of playing a cop than he is fucking the Punisher there running around
But
killing everybody.
you could see him because he's this big imposing motherfucker, like, you know. I could see him doing that. So
Yeah,
and like,
I
you
get-
mix that up with the like what the
That's-
action he
you've
does.
already
with-
got the point here.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see how you don't see him being able to be
Yeah.
a big punishing bastard
Look,
when he needs to be.
They're annoying you with that there, Greg. Give me Javier Bardem.
No,
I
that's,
mean, I cannot believe you bollocks that up. I actually can't believe you bollocks that up like that.
Can I switch that to John Hamm?
No. Right, lads. Do you know what? Fuck this. It's 4-3-3, right?
Woo.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you now
It's
before we start?
4-4-3.
Sorry, 4-4-3. What I'm going to do to you is before we move on to story 3, I'm going to end this episode here and make you do another week of it. So fuck yous.
Oh,
Um,
you mofo.
Right.
Fuck yous.
Okay.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen, I'm
just
going to
want to
make them
hold
do
on to
another
the
week.
championship longer, don't you?
I'm hanging on to this strap even fucking longer, baby. Well, you haven't won yet, Carl. And if any of the rest of the picks are like fucking Javier Bardem, you won't be getting a shot at the strap for 3 weeks.
I'm tied in the lead here, okay? Give me some credit. I'm rusty.
That's what I said. If any of your rest of your picks are like Javier Bardem, you will not be getting a shot. But what we'll do is we'll finish it up here, folks. You'll see part 2 from story 3 of Sin City next week. And you'll see the conclusion of this epic Titanic battle of a triple threat. This is more than a triple threat, really. This is like a triple threat Iron Man.
Iron Man Hell in a Cell.
if this was a triple threat, me and Sherlock would have been tied up at the end of it. We'd have had to go to the sudden death pick.
Yeah.
The pink
This
pink
is
slip on a pole match.
Judy Bagwell
But,
on a pole. Man.
Sick Note in a pole match.
Just as I said, make sure to like and check us out here, Facebook page and the Instagram at Retrotainment Recast, and then myself and Carl over on the slab, the usual, lining it out every week.
I'm scared.
And then we have. Hope you liked our old run back of a version of the Sherlock reel, which we have now rebranded as the Retrotainment reel, because
Yes.
it's happened.
Yeah.
Oh, we hope
Glad
you
to bring
like
it
that.
back. Glad to
Yeah.
bring it back. It's not just movies.
And
We're doing everything else.
It's not a once-off either. There will be more episodes of that going forward as well.
Monthly instead of weekly.
Yeah.
They take a while to get them lined up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be that, lads. So I'll see you next week. Fuck
All
you.
right.
Adios.